Hello fellow landowner, this video is to show you how to apply for the Sustainable Forestry Incentive Act program, or SFIA for short. I'm just going to go through the Department of Revenue application that you'll need to fill out, the SFIA covenants, and then the supporting documents basically that you're going to need to complete this application and just to start the process for being enrolled in SFIA and to start get those payments rolling. So I'm just going to go step by step here. This is a checklist that the SFIA application has on it. It's really nice and really easy to follow, and I'm just going to go through it for what you need and how you can complete it. So I'd recommend watching this video prior to filing and submitting your application just to make sure you're doing it right. It is relatively straightforward, and hopefully I explained it enough in person ahead of time, but this is just a quick video to hopefully support it, and if any questions pop up, you can kind of refer to it. So first things, you got to record a covenant. That's not anything new at whatever county your property is actually located at. So I'm going to go to an example covenant here. This is a 8-year covenant. All these look the same except just up top here it's either going to say 8, 20, or 50-year covenant. So make sure you have the right covenant lengths that you're wanting to enroll into. If it is the 8, 20, or 50, whatever it may be, just make sure you have that right correct year up top here. And then it's pretty straightforward, the covenant kind of application here itself, with just putting date, the county, and I'd recommend read through this. It's not terribly long, and then what you're signing up for, the restrictions. Then just some signatures down here at the bottom and date. And then a big thing that you need actually is it needs to be notarized, and the county that you're working with may notarize it for you in their office, or you possibly may need it notarized ahead of time. That's something I would just recommend contacting your county assessor or recorder's office ahead of time and just ask for the SFIA covenant, does it need to be notarized ahead of time, or is that something they can do in their office for you? And then kind of the bulk of this covenant is the Exhibit A, which is basically a legal kind of description of the property, and then what areas are being excluded and whatnot, kind of in words. And then the Exhibit B of the property, which is actually a map of the property showing what areas are being excluded and what areas are actually being enrolled. So you can see here, here's an example of that Exhibit A and Exhibit B that you'll end up attaching on to your SFIA covenant. A lot of the basic information that you'll find on the front page of the stewardship plan. And like I said, this is something I either have made up already or can make up for you as well that you'll need for that covenant. This is something you can do on your own if you wanted to. Like I said, a lot of it you can find just on the front page of the stewardship plan, and you can even use this covenant right here for kind of information on what you actually need to have on the Exhibit A and Exhibit B. I just make up this more specific Exhibit A and Exhibit B just so it's a little bit more neater. And then especially this Exhibit B is the big thing, the map of the property. So you can easily show what acres are being enrolled and what acres are being excluded. You can see here there's 3 acres around this permanent building down here, and then there's 20 acres of agriculture that is also being excluded up in the northeast corner. So again, you'll take this Exhibit B and Exhibit A, and you will take that and staple it onto this SFIA covenant that you will then bring into your county recorder's office. Again, checking if it needs to be notarized ahead of time, and then just going in, or you, like I said, you can mail this in as well, is what you're going to need to do next, and get a copy of the recorded covenant of Exhibit A and Exhibit B, which I can get you to, and then the covenant recording number is the other big thing that you'll end up needing to continue on with the application process here. So if we go back to the application checklist here, you can see number 2, I have attached copies of the recorded covenants, Exhibit A and Exhibit B, for the parcels and land you're enrolling, and then property tax statement as well for each of the different parcels is something you'll need to attach. And those two, the recorded covenant's kind of the biggest thing that you'll need to do, and everything else is pretty straightforward. Just making sure your land isn't enrolled in 2C or any type of green acres or agriculture preserve, and then making sure you don't have an easement on the property, which you can still enroll in SFIA, it'll just be reduced payment rate. And then next, just filling out basic landowner information, whether it's an individual or multiple people, or if it's a business or organization. And this is kind of important because if you remember me talking about the mortality clause on the covenant, which basically is if the original claimant on the covenant passes away, whoever it's getting passed down to, they have 1 year to get out of this covenant or this program free and clear. They don't have to wait the half-life, they don't have to wait the full covenant length. They have 1 year to get out of that program free and clear after the death of the original claimant there. So whenever you can, do it as an individual person or multiple people, because then that mortality clause can apply. If you sign up as a business or organization, then technically a business or organization cannot die, so therefore you wouldn't be able to apply that mortality clause. So again, basic information there. And then here you need to find your county code, covenant recording number. Obviously check no if you're not in a conservation easement, parcel ID number, number of eligible acres, and then covenant length. So the county code, you can actually go down to the bottom here, and whatever county you're in, you'll be able to find it on this little chart. This specific one, we are in Todd County, so I'd put a 153 here, and then whatever covenant recording number that you would have gotten from the county is what you'll need to put in there. Checking no for the conservation easement, parcel identification number, and number of eligible acres. You can either find that on the covenant Exhibit A or Exhibit B. You can see here there's parcel ID numbers and then the number of acres being enrolled. Especially this chart shows, pretty much everything you're going to need. The parcel ID number and then the number of eligible acres. And that's what they're asking for there, is the parcel ID number and number of eligible acres, and then the covenant length here. I think I got one filled out here. So you can see county code 153 for Todd, my fake covenant recording number, conservation easement, checking no, parcel identification number. Again, you can go to Exhibit A here. Here's the parcel ID numbers. And then number of eligible acres, and then basically the covenant length. You just got to check a box there. And then just add up the total amount of acres that you'll end up getting from however many parcels you're putting the covenant under, and put that down at the bottom here. And then you just got to print it out, sign it down here at the bottom, and then there's directions on where to send it down here at the bottom as well. And there is just some kind of basic information at the bottom of this application that you can use, and then contact information if any questions pop up. But yeah, the big thing is getting that recorded covenant and then just kind of filling in the information after you have that, and then making sure to attach a copy of the recorded covenant, the Exhibit A and Exhibit B, and then those property tax statement as well. And that is pretty much it. Like always, shoot me an email or call me if any questions pop up with it. I'd be able to help you out. And then obviously, if there's something more specific, SFIA related, there's the contact on this second page here. And then again, here's kind of what you need to actually send in, and then the address to where you need to mail in for the Department of Revenue. So hopefully this helps and you're able to figure all that out. And like I said, any questions pop up, give me a call.